Let's see if this thing is live. I think I did the thing where I did it too soon. And so, can you guys hear me? Am I live? Just gonna close everything out. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Is anyone out there? Check 1, 2. Can you guys hear me? Well, I hear myself, so. Okay, well, this may be the world's shortest live stream, but I wanted to say two things. First off, a link down in the description to my Kickstarter pre-launch page for 7 Delving Sins. If you haven't checked it out and you followed me for any reason online, please go check that out. Second, and today's subject, is this little thing here. So, I was driving around today at my new job, and I got bored and I started thinking, oh, this is cool, this is in the frame. I started thinking about design, about game design, and I started thinking, like, what do you actually need in order to just get a game off the ground? Like, maybe you have a friend in town and they're like, I want to play D&D, and you're thinking, well, I don't really have anything prepared. I don't want to, like, spend all this time rolling up characters, blah blah blah. So I came up with this idea for, like, a very, very streamlined, simple D&D like experience. And it's just I'm just ripping off some things I really like, like roll under stats, Dragonbane style, or I guess original D&D style. And then, this is the cipher system. You are an adjective, noun, who, verbs. I basically just ripped that off whole cloth. So this is probably mostly a game that already exists. But I was sitting there driving down the road. I had like an hour-long drive. And I was just sitting there thinking about it. I was like, if I could just make a one-page TTRPG, what are the elements I would want in it? And so I kind of came up with this. I came up with, like, what each stat covers. I kept things really close to original sort of D&D design, but we're just going to have some fun today. I didn't announce this stream early, so I don't even know if anyone's going to end up watching. But I thought, why not just try this little game live? And if you guys are here watching, feel free to give me some input as far as, like, maybe we could play a mock session if people show up. But yeah, I just named this Crawler Corp because it was the first thing, or Crawler Core, I guess. First thing that popped in my head as I was just driving around thinking about it. But I'm going to start off by getting a blank piece of paper. Here we go. We're going to make a character. Kind of Mad Libs style. So, actually, let me grab this. I'm going to get a pen. Hello, everyone. If you're just joining, this is a game I made up in my head today while I was at work, and we're going to play. We're going to see how it works and if it's fun. I'm going to start off by rolling some stats. So, 3d6 down the line. Actually, I'm not going to use a marker because if I do, it's probably going to bleed through to this beautiful little page I made here. So, say hello if you're around, and I'll do an AMA while I'm kind of playing around with this. So, if you have any questions for me, just in general, they don't have to be even TTRPG related. But, alright, so we're going to go 3d6 down the line, classic, strength, dex, con, int. Oh no, my pencil's not working. Int, whiz, and charisma. Alright. Here goes nothing. Let's see what we get. Oh no. 7? So our strength is 7. That's rough. That's a little better. 11 dex. That's good. We have a decent chance to dodge. Oh, there we go. What was that, a 16? 16 con, yes. That's it. That's HP right there. And saves. So I'm hardy. 8 int. So we're not a wizard. We're not going to have many spells. Oh no. It's even worse. 6 wisdom. And then finally charisma. Alright, 13 charisma. Okay, so that fast we have like our character stats. And then I just have to come up with a statement. You are an adjective noun who verbs. And the way I'm thinking it is like, this is sort of our class, right? This is our descriptor or subclass. And this is a power we get, verb. Something we do. So I'm going to write, I am, and you guys can help me out with this Mad Lib style. I am a blank. I'll do a longer blank than that. Blank who blanks. Don't be shy. If you're out there and you're watching, come say hey, and yeah, let's come up with a character. This should be fun. If not, I will come up with these things. But other than that, you know, we're going to roll. So we have strength. This is our inventory slots. We only have 7 inventory. So I'm going to do gear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then HP. Hey, what's up, bacon? My total HP is my con, so it's 16. Man, I rolled really good for con. And we're at 16 out of 16 right now. Let's see what our armor is. I should have done one that was not any. But for now, I just put D3, so we'll do 1 and 2 is light, 3 and 4 is medium, 5 and 6 is heavy. Oh, we get heavy armor. So our armor soaks up 3 damage, but also takes 3 off of our dex. So 8? Yeah, that's right. Okay, and then last but not least, let's roll a weapon. D4. 2. We get a D6 weapon. So sword. I'm just going to do this. This is my simple sword. Alright, so we have a D6. And it can be anything you want. You could say rusty, greatsword, whatever. All that really matters is that die. So, alright, so we have a character other than I am a adjective noun who verbs. And the only thing this is going to do, we get advantage to non-attack. I should have wrote tests here. Non-attack tests related to your words. So basically, I'm going to go with, since it doesn't seem like we have too many people watching, actually, I've got a great idea. I have my 7 Delving Sins tables I've been working on. So, I'm going to roll 2d6 to determine my class, just for fun. Let's see. 2d6, what do we get? 7, that's not a surprise at all. I am some kind of brigand who blanks. Now I need an adjective, like I am a daring. In fact, I'm going to go to the company for this. I'm going to roll company oaths, and I'm just going to use the oath. But seriously, another 7? Oh, professional brigand is not that exciting. So I'm going to go to something more generic. So if I go to the tables down here, oracles and stuff, let's just roll D66 and see what we get. Either 25 or 52. So 25 is a dragon. We're not going to be a dragon. What's 52? An orphaned. That's not really an adjective, though. And I don't want to say I'm a poor brigand who blanks. I think I need just a generic spark table for this. Maybe I'll even break out knave 2e because that's always my go-to. Let's do that really fast. I'm gonna go get my knave copy. All right, since I'm not getting a lot of chat input yet, we're gonna go NPC, and we're gonna roll a D100. 99. Wow. I was gonna say what are the odds, but I know what the odds are. 1 in 100. All right, personality 99. Wiry. Profession. Wig maker. Goals. So chaos. Okay. Mannerism. There's also powers here, which I may just roll for the last thing. A wistful. I am a wistful. Why not? Wistful brigand who. Let's roll a power. $11. I got burrow. This is going to be a weird character. A wistful brigand who burrows. My power is burrowing. What's an adjective for burrows? Because I want to make this more interesting than what is happening right now. Burrow. Excavates. Delves. I mean, literally 7 delving sins. Digs, yeah. Scours. Forages. Snuggles. That's definitely it. Snuggles. Okay, we're gonna go with as on the nose as it is. Who delves? My power is gonna have to do with delving. Alright, because this is not the total point of this exercise. Alright, so we have a character. I am a wistful brigand who delves. I have 7 slots. I'm just going to say classic sword here. D6 sword. I'm wearing heavy armor. I have 16 HP, and these are my roll under stats, if you can't see them. Strength is 7. Dex is 11, modified to 8 by my heavy armor. Con is 16, Int is 8, Wisdom is 6, and Charisma 13. So, if I wanted to go delving into a dungeon, which, just for fun, I'm going to say I'm right here. This is my character. Actually, let's use the torch die. I'm in this dungeon, right? Man, this is where I wish I had some people to throw out some input for me. Bacon, if you're out there, tell me what I find in this room. Because I'm going to roll... Actually, let's do this. I need a D6, a D20, a D4. I'm going to do a yes or no die. A D8 and a D10. There we go. There's all my dice. Alright, so for this little experiment of a game that I just cooked up in my head today, I am going to roll a scenario, and it's going to be what's happening in this room when I leave. Or maybe enter. Here's the scenario, how it starts. I woke in a strange dungeon. I don't know how I got here. I don't know why I'm here. Don't know where I came from. And now we're going to roll a quest. Alright, let's see here. Generic quests. Oh yeah, I need 2d6 because this is 7 Delving Sins table, so 10. There we go. Finally a 2d6 that wasn't a 7. I'm here to plunder a lair before the dwellers find it. Now, I need to know who these dwellers are. So I actually need... This is one of the few 3d6 tables in the whole game because there are exactly 16 monster types. Oh, I got a 4 before the aliens come. Already excited about this. Okay. So I need to loot the dungeon before the aliens come. Is that what it was? It was a 10. Plunder the lair before the dwellers find it. And let's roll what kind of lair this is. D66. 3. Or actually, rather, 6 is a 12. 12 or 21. Oh, so we are in the kitchens. We found our way here into the kitchens of this dungeon. Okay. And then I'm going to roll an encounter. And Bacon, this is where I want you to jump in. I'm going to roll it. This is an encounter framework. If I don't want to just like fully come up with it myself, I can roll on this. I got a 22. Okay. And then in this kitchen, there's a dweller caught in a trap that needs help. And I'm going to roll what that dweller is. Another 3d6. Wow, 9. A beast caught in a trap. What is this trap, Bacon? What kind of a trap is this beast caught in that I've stumbled upon here in this room? I'll wait for the video to catch up. It's going to take a second here, but all right, let's clear some stuff out of the way while we wait. Our 3d6 here, our d2, a trio of threes, a trio of trios. It's a net trap. We have a beast caught in a classic net trap. All right, I'm going to roll to see what the beast is because I have been working on my dwellers list for 7 Delving Sins. All right, let's see here. 3. Rolling really low. They are a pack of something. Reinforcements are lying in wait. Maybe the rest of the group saw this trap spring and got scared and held off. Yeah, let's see here. I'm thinking something classic like wolves. You know, this pack of wolves. I wake up in this dungeon, there's something caught in a net. I think my character is wistful, so he's going to try to... We need a name for our wistful brigand who delves. I'm going to call him Uh, names are always the hardest. Is there a list of names in Knave? I want to be really random with this. Truly random. That's not NPCs, that's monsters. Let's see. Names. Okay, there's... So we can D100. 52, or the 50s, really. Alright, so we are... Something Lin. Oh, wait, that's the name? Oh, that's the surname. 52 is Jasper. Jasper is a wistful brigand and decides to try and save these wolves before it's too late. So, alright, I think Jasper runs up using... He only has a 7 strength. So, the way I have written it here, we have to roll a 7 or under. Yeah, roll under. And if I put this in right before I started the stream, still not sure how I feel about this. This is kind of, I'm ripping off my own game, 7 Delving Sins. If you roll exactly the stat, it is a yes but. So typically in a roll under, you actually want to roll lower than your stat. But 7 is pretty low, so we'll see what happens. I got a 4. I take out my sword. I start cutting through, but trying not to harm the wolves. And I'm going to make sort of a reaction roll here. Now, this is, again, I'm using 7 Delving Sins for a lot of stuff, table-wise, just because it's what I've been working on. It's what's living in my brain. What do they want? And I'm going to roll a motive. A 6. Oh, they're greedy. I rolled 6 is greed. So, their motive is greed. These wolves got greedy and came into this dungeon maybe chasing a meal, something like that. So perhaps there's something else around here. But how do they react to me? Reaction roll. 7. Confused, uncertain, considering. Okay, so I let them out. They're kind of freaked out. And I think what happens is that they run. They see me. They decide, this guy let us out. We're confused about where we are, what's happened here. We were caught in this trap. And the wolves flee. We'll just say, flee out of this room here, down the stairs and off into the darkness. Now, this is my first test. I succeeded. I actually rolled under a 7, which is pretty impressive. That's not a very super high percentage chance. I think Jasper here gets his bearings. He looks around. He sees that there's a path. He can go left or right. I'm just going to say he has a torch. Because, I'm starting myself off in a random dungeon. I at least have like a basic kit. In fact, just because I'm going to roll myself the basic 3 random items I would get in this game. Mundane gear. This is a D6 table. Alright, I get a 31, which is a compass. Wow, that's a pretty good get. I am going to get 52 manacles. Maybe they're on me. But not, like 2 just hanging chains on my wrists, just for flavor. And a 14, a bedroll. Alright, and then I'm going to say, everyone in this game starts with a torch and 1 ration. So I've got a day to figure out how to get out of this place. Okay, so I move up here with my torch to the this intersection. I can follow the wolves north. I can go west down towards this direction, pretending I don't really know what this map is, and then east this way. So what do we do? What do we do here, Bacon? Or anyone else who's out there, feel free to chime in. Help me make a decision here as we're moving through this dungeon. And then I'm going to roll our next encounter after you guys decide. Alright, let's see. Encounter builder. I'm going to do 3d6 for this one, just for fun. Nine. Oh, I wrote the wrong thing. It's not a 3d6. It's another d66. We're just deciding a direction. North, east, or west. We came from the south. If you're working, I'm not going to pick on you too much then. Maybe I'll just roll a die. We'll say 1 and 2 is west, 3 and 4 is north, and 5 and 6 is east. North it is. We follow the wolves. Okay. So as we're making our way through the dungeon, we get some sensory information here. We're going to go 52 on this. We see clear symbols etched into the stone as we pass down the hallways. An omen of something that might be coming. Alright. I'm going to take... I see a door to the east here. Is it locked? No. We got nothing on that one, so it is not locked. I worked my way inside here, and then we're going to roll another encounter frame. Alright, let's not get the same one. 21. 21. We arrive on the scene of D6 dwellers protecting powerful loot. 6 dwellers. Oh no. What are they? Alright, I got... Oh wait, this is 3d6. That's right. This is the one thing in the game. Oh, wow. So that's 12, 17? Oh, worms. That's not good. This is very bad, actually. D6 worms? Because these are WYRM worms. So I'm going to go down to the Dweller dossier and see what type of worms these are. 9. These are shadow worms. When provoked, it casts a far area of darkness. Oh no. So even my torch, the light of my torch is pushed back as the darkness swells from these worms. Alright. When in doubt, always go to the left. Nah, it's perfect. Personal project. Not like payroll stuff. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Well, work on, my friend. Alright, so we're going to go into, like, combat, basically. I haven't even decided how this works in Crawler Core. I guess I'm just going to roll dex. And if I succeed on my dex, then I go before the monsters. It's that simple. I got a 6. I rolled under my 8 because I'm wearing armor, so it's been lowered to an 8. So we get to go first. These worms, I'm just going to say, are hostile just to get to simulate some combat. There's 6 of them and 1 of me. I pull out my rusty greatsword and I start swinging at these things. Okay, so in order to hit for melee, I need to roll under my strength to deal damage to them. I did not succeed. The darkness is getting the better of me. I dropped the torch on the ground to pull out my two-hander, and I'm just swinging away through the darkness. Now, what I'm gonna do for these monsters is I'm just gonna decide that because there's 6 of them, they all have the same attack roll. I haven't come up with monster stats for this yet. In fact, actually, no, they wouldn't attack. I would roll to dodge. So I'm going to have them all do damage to me at once, basically. If I fail to dodge, I need to get under an 11. Oh, no, actually under an 8. So I fail to dodge. And just to be fair to myself here, I'm going to say they're going to deal a D4 plus 6, because there's 6 of them. Whew. So that's 9 damage. I subtract 3 of it from my armor. And I'm going to take 6 of that. So I'm down to 10 already. So they're dealing like 1 damage each, and I'm just doing this for a group, basically, because there are no rules yet. And this is definitely not like how I would for sure roll this in the future, but I'm playing a solo game against 6 monsters, so, and I'm probably going to die here because I got to roll under a 7 or under every time. Oh, that's almost a crit fail. Alright, so I swing again, and these things get the better of me, and now they're surrounding me in this darkness, and I have to roll under my dex to dodge. I do not dodge. So this is another 7 damage. We take 3 of that off, so we take 4. Down to 6 already. And this, my friends, is where we flee. I see the situation. I jumped into this room here. These 6 dragons or wormlings are surrounding me. I'm getting my butt kicked. So I try to run out of the door here and get away. And I'm going to say this is also a dex, just to try to flee. I don't quite get away from them. So they're going to get another attack against me as I run out into the hall. Okay, so I have to roll to dodge. Nope. I think this is it, folks. Ah! Max damage. They deal 10 to me. I take 3 off. That's still 7, which is still enough to kill me. I'm going to say, just for the fun of this stream, I'm going to make a contest to see if I just stave off the killing blow, essentially. 16. I roll under my con, which is pretty high. So I'm going to say what it does for the solo style of this game is it leaves me at 1 HP rather than finishing me off. So now I'm going to get one more chance to run away and basically play out probably one more scene. Alright. Dex. Oh, no. With the armor, it is not quite enough. So they get a hit on me. It's max damage again. And poor Jasper is no more. We have our first death of the Crawler Core. Alright, so that was just a fun, silly little way to test out this game. And, you know, again, this is something I thought up driving down the road at work, so it probably needs some shaping up. But I've always just wanted to come up with a game that was a roll under, that still used the basic stats of D&D, but I wanted to truncate everything to be really simplified. Like, strength is just inventory and melee, dex is dodge and ranged. And that way, like, everything had natural DCs that were set up by the player character themselves. Con is your HP and your saves. Int is to test or cast spells, use powers, or, you know, it's still like the D&D kind of thing where, like, if I wanted to find something out, I would roll under... I would attempt to roll under my int. No, not Jasper! I like it. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Wisdom is your mana points, which I haven't even decided fully how that would work yet, but I assume it would be to cast spells, and maybe it costs 1 more for every extra spell you cast, or something like that. Either that, or go like a vagabond style, where, like, you know, a standard spell cast is like a d6 damage. You spend an extra mana point to split that into 2 targets. You spend 1 more mana point to up the die to a d8 instead of a d6. Stuff like that. Because I think that's a really loosey-goosey system, and it's really fun to, like, make modular spells that way. Charisma, I have max charisma attempts per session for me, or for Jasper rather. I actually had 13, so it's pretty high. But that's also what I would need to roll under to succeed. So, yeah, hopefully you could see how this could be like a fun little on-the-fly game. And like I was saying, I developed it because I was sitting there thinking about some of the games that I played at Page this year. Played a game called Torn with Tiger Wizard. He'd created this game where all you did was you had 3 stats and you put them in the corner of your sheet, and or you put them somewhere on your sheet. I can't remember exactly. I showed up a little bit late, but essentially you drew a character and you rolled these 3 stats, and any time that you performed an action, something that was uncertain, you would have to roll a d10. And if you didn't get, I'm trying to remember, you added your stat because you had like, it was basically like strength, will, and charisma or something. But essentially you tried to beat, I want to say it was a 10 on a d10. So you had to roll pretty high if you needed to roll. And the way it worked was you would state your intent to the whole table. You'd say like, this is how I overcome this obstacle. I had I was a goblin with like a really long flail. And so one thing I did, I used my flail like Indiana Jones style, wrapped it around a ladder and tried to swing around over this gap. And then everyone gives you a yay or nay. And if it's not unanimous, then the person who thumbs down has to come up with why it doesn't work. And then you roll to see if you can still succeed. So it was a fun little game that took zero amount of time to get into and explain. We played another game with, I'm going to forget his name. It was awesome. It was like this island. it was the wildest scenario, and now I really can't think of his name, and I feel bad. But anyways, the game was called like 5 Alive, or like Roll 5 Stay Alive, or something like that. And I guess what I'm getting at is there were all these games that we played really spontaneously. Like, it was just, here's a bunch of game designers and YouTubers and other random con goers sitting around in a hotel lobby. You know, the official con hours are over. We all just wanted to play games, but people didn't have anything cooked up, you know. Or maybe, somebody had like a very straightforward adventure that was all theater of the mind kind of stuff. So the more I thought about it, I thought that's a really great idea. I love the idea of a game that really you don't have to spend a lot of time explaining. It doesn't take long at all to create characters. The point of it is just to get into the story and start rolling dice and, having fun together, collaborating, doing the D&D kind of stuff. So this was my first attempt at creating something along those lines. And this is so half-baked. I just thought I'd show what I kind of came up with. And I even, I was like coloring with my daughter a little while ago before she went to bed. And I was like, I'll just color in this, make this fun and whimsical. But yeah, this is Crawler Corp. I don't even know if that's the name of a game that already exists. It might be. So this may be just a fun little thing that I do at cons or lives in my head, that sort of thing. But, oh crap, I turned my chat off. Hopefully no one is trying to talk to me. Well, anyway, I've been trying to... So if you haven't seen my face as much on the YouTubes, it's because I just started a new job, and it's, there's always an adjustment period. I haven't gone anywhere yet, but I just thought I'd try to keep up with the live stream schedule, and this was something I cooked up earlier, so thought, you know what, I'll just check in, see how people are doing, maybe do an AMA kind of thing. Wish I had a way to, like, pull people in here, because I know there's some streaming softwares that you can just pull people in and chat live, but I don't know how to do that because I'm not that fancy. But anyway, I'm rambling. This is probably going to be it. I just wanted to do a quick, like, show off this fun little doodad I created today, but hopefully you guys are still subscribed to me out there. I like I said, I haven't totally vanished. I've just been pretty tired and kind of busy, so still working on 7 Delving Sins, trying to get it up to ship shape, ready to go, ready for the launch, and been working a lot on the oracles and stuff, all of the co-op kind of play. As you can see here, I used some of it in real time, so hopefully that encourages you guys who've been following that. That, you know, there's still some stuff getting done behind the scenes, but I got to get like art and things in, and I have somebody I'm working with on the layout and design kind of stuff, so I'm excited about that. I'm gonna go big screen, big cam. But other than that, you know, I have a couple of video ideas I want to get out soon, and I really want to work on my boxed set video. I know I've been talking about it a long time, but I've got a lot of really cool box sets of TTRPGs sitting around, and I want to do a kind of like mass review of box sets, because I think box sets sit in a very unique space in TTRPGs, because they're this sort of like, here's a way to kickstart your entrance into this system, and I think there's some selling points that I want to go over, like, does it pass the Christmas morning test, right? Where can you bust open this box set and immediately play the game and have everything you need to play? You know, does it come with an adventure? Does it explain the rules? That sort of stuff. Is it worth the dollar amount? So that's a video that will hopefully be coming before too long. And yeah, just stay tuned. I got some stuff coming. So, all right. This was like a last minute stream, as you can probably see. But thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully this was fun. And if you ever want to play this game, here's one more shot of it. That's the whole game. It's right there. Take a screenshot of that, because it probably won't change too much from this, other than to create like some monsters or something. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Bacon, let's get together soon. Let's do an interview or like a live chat, or maybe I'll have you on the Quantum Ogre cast. We need to line up something where we talk, because I feel like we both have some thoughts after playing Mythic Bastion Land. So anyway, thank you guys for hanging out. I'm going to call it a night here, because I got to get up early. But as always, remember, learn, adapt, and grow. We'll see you next time.